I don't know if I'm the only one, but every time I watch Gene Wilder's version or Johnny Depp's version of Willy Wonka, those fucking Wonka bars in the stores look like the best chocolate. I actually remember they did a promo for the 2005 movie where they were actually selling Wonka bars in supermarkets, and it was the best fucking tasting chocolate ever. And I remember they actually had golden tickets inside to win a tour of a chocolate factory. And I honestly thought that I was going to go to fucking Willy Wonka's chocolate factory if I won.
Find one of the 5 golden tickets hidden inside a Wonka bar, and you'll win a trip to a real-life chocolate factory.
Come to find out, it was literally just a local chocolate factory, which is nothing special at all, but there's my little story. So, when it comes to this movie, I will not lie, I judged it before I went in. I was very skeptical. I was just so scared that they were going to butcher another classic. They were going to ruin Willy Wonka. But that isn't the case. This movie was actually a really good time. So the biggest surprise for me was Timothée Chalamet. I don't know the lore when it comes to this film, if this is like a prequel to Gene Wilder's, or this is just a prequel of Willy Wonka before he got his factory, because that's the only cinematic version we haven't seen. But I'm going to compare him to Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka because I think it makes the most sense. Johnny Depp's is his own thing. I really enjoyed Johnny Depp's performance. That movie's great. I grew up on it. But if you compare it to Gene Wilder, it is just the most wild, outlandish portrayal of Willy Wonka. There were a lot of times I could really see Gene Wilder in Timothy's performance. Like, it was super fucking weird. I was like, that is literally Gene Wilder as a young version in this Willy Wonka universe. And at times, Timothy did his own thing. And I think it really worked. As I said, I don't know if this is actually a prequel or just a standalone Wonka, but Timothy's overall performance was really good. He brings more like charm and humility and kindness to the Wonka character, whereas Gene Wilder, yes, he had a lot of charm, but it was like he could fucking snap at any moment. He had this temperament, and he was really weird at times. Nowhere near as weird as Johnny Depp's portrayal, but in this film, I feel like it worked that he brought that charm to this character, but at the same time, he was too nice at times. And what I mean by that, the whole plot of the film is that this chocolate cartel is going after him. They're literally trying to assassinate him like twice, in the most brutal of ways. And Timothy's character, it doesn't really change him at all. He's just still the same super nice guy by the end of it. But in the Gene Wilder performance, I don't know, you can sort of tell that Wonka's a bit damaged and he's seen some shit. But overall, Timothy's performance was excellent. If it was compared to Gene Wilder, if he took, you know, moments from Gene Wilder and he was inspired by his character or Johnny Depp's character, or he just decided to do his own thing, I don't know. But I think he portrayed Wonka amazingly, so hats off to that performance. Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa. When this trailer first came out and I saw that, I won't lie, I was like, this is fucking disgusting. What is it with Hollywood not wanting to hire dwarves anymore for these characters? You know, you went through this whole Snow White ordeal and they've said, okay, fair enough, they should have been dwarves, but we're going to CGI them in now. I don't know. But again, I'm happy to report, or in my opinion anyway, Hugh Grant was fucking hilarious in this film. The CGI'd Oompa Loompa, what it looked like made it even funnier. Whenever Hugh Grant sung the classic Oompa Loompa song, he put his own little spin on it. He's got his like thick accent, and I don't know, it just did something for me. The whole plot of this film when it comes to this chocolate cartel, it was super creative. I feel like it was just memeing on other movies that are like, you know, there's this cartel, they're out to kill people, and most of the time the cartel deal drugs and all that crap. But in this film, they literally deal chocolate, and people are addicted to chocolate, and it's hilarious. I think it's, I don't know if it was Key or Peele, I don't know which one it was, but in this film, he's like the police chief, and he's being bribed by chocolate, or bribed with chocolate. He puts on like 300 kilos by the end of the film, and it is just so funny. Rowan Atkinson plays a priest who like basically guards the chocolate fucking cartel's layer of chocolate or something, and he gets bribed by chocolate, and he literally has 2 or 3 minutes of screen time, and it is the funniest parts of the movie. Rowan Atkinson can literally just make a face and it will make me laugh. He was hilarious. This was a surprisingly funny film. I did not expect to laugh as much as I did. I think the film was catered towards everybody because kids would find certain moments hilarious and adults find certain moments hilarious, but it was enough to giggle at literally every attempt at comedy. All the side characters did a great job. They all played their role. They all had their part in this film that was essential to the story, essential to Wonka's development, especially the kid. He sort of takes under his wing Noodle from memory. They give her own little side story and conclusion at the end of the film, and you can make the criticism that they're sort of taking the spotlight off of Wonka, but I feel like he needed that because it sort of developed his character and showed you what kind of person Wonka actually is. All the singing and dancing. So I know that in the original Wonka, I think there's maybe 6 or 7 songs I'm counting from memory. In the Johnny Depp version, they're mainly all songs by the Oompa Loompas from memory again. But in this film here, so it opens with a song, fair enough. And there was another song 5 minutes later, and then another one, and then another one. And I think there was maybe 12 in total, at least. For me, this film could have cut out at least 2 or 3 songs, and it could have just been dialogue. Sometimes the musical numbers were sort of unnecessary for me. Like they'll turn a small situation into this massive song and dance. And I understand that Wonka is technically a musical, but they could have cut at least 2 or 3 songs out of it for me. There was times where I was like, fuck, another song already? And it was just a tad annoying. But in saying that, the songs were all great, and the actual musical numbers and the dancing within the songs, they were good for the most part. Some of them do rely heavily on CGI, and the last song in particular, or the second last song, I don't really remember, where he's starting to form his actual factory, the CGI in that was actually unbearable. Like, it looked super bad. Compare it to Gene Wilder's version when they enter the factory and everything's real because it's actually a set. It looks legit. In this one here, his factory is like forming and it just looked way too animation-y and way too cartoony for my liking. So in the end, this movie was actually really surprising. I didn't expect it to be this good. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. There's things I really liked about it, some things I didn't like too much about it. I think I need to see it again just to really know how I feel about it. But after first viewing, it was solid. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. So if you've seen the film, let me know what you think, and thanks always for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.